Wife's constant stress talks leave me drained. How do I say it without hurting her? I, 40M, love my wife, 40F, of 18 years more than anything, but I often leave our conversations feeling exhausted. It's not that she's wrong, she just unloads about work, family, money, and life nonstop, and I end up mentally drained. I want to be supportive, but there's never really a pause or sense of resolution. It makes me want to avoid her sometimes, and that makes me feel like a terrible husband. I don't want her to think I'm saying she's too much or that I don't care. How can I explain that I need some balance and boundaries without hurting her or making her feel unloved? I want her to know I value her, but I also need to protect my own energy. Should I tell my coworker M24? He's tanking his reputation? I work on a long-term project where the same small team bonds pretty closely over time. We usually grab lunch or drinks, and overall the group has a great vibe. The problem is one coworker, M24, keeps alienating himself without realizing it, and it's starting to drag everyone down. He often acts like the most experienced despite being one of the least, interrupts, and gives unsolicited advice. He minimizes complaints, lectures about his lifestyle, and even tattled on coworkers for minor dress code things. People are getting tired of him, but no one wants to exclude him outright. I feel bad because he seems upset but doesn't understand why. I don't know him well, so I'm not sure if it's my place to tell him. Should I say something to give him a reality check, or stay out of it and let him figure it out on his own? Should I dump my BF, 37M, for liking other women's pics? I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years, and every time I check Instagram, I notice he follows tons of women and likes their photos. It makes me feel disrespected and unwanted, like I'm competing with strangers online for his attention. This behavior instantly kills my trust in him. The problem is, this isn't coming out of nowhere. He already talked to at least one woman behind my back before, making plans like he didn't even have a girlfriend. Knowing that history makes his online activity feel less like harmless scrolling and more like a red flag. Now I feel torn between thinking I'm being insecure or recognizing this as real disrespect. Should I let it slide as just Instagram, or is it reasonable to see this as a deal breaker? Parents crashing my hockey trip. Should I tell my friend or keep it quiet? I'm 31M and finally planning to meet my 29M online friend who I bonded with over hockey. We've watched every game together for ages, and now I'm flying out to see one live. He even offered to host me, though I'd prefer a hotel to also explore the city. The catch? I still live with my parents, and when I told them about the trip, they decided to come along. They booked the same hotel and claim they'll do their own thing, but I know it's because they're nervous about me traveling. I'm embarrassed my friend might find out. My parents think it's no big deal, but I worry my friend will see me differently. Should I just be upfront with him about it, or try to keep it hidden? My wife's dream job is hurting our marriage. My wife, 33F, is a teacher and loves her job, but the workload is extreme. She leaves before 6 a.m., works late, and still grades or lesson plans most nights and weekends. She's constantly exhausted, and we rarely have time together. I handle most childcare at night, but I'm drained too. We haven't had sex in 4 months, don't go on dates, and even family visits turn into her grading instead of being present. Talking to her about this just gets brushed off. She's happy with her job, coworkers, and pay, but I feel invisible and trapped. I don't want to give her an ultimatum, but this isn't sustainable. Am I wrong for asking her to find a different job or set boundaries? My perfect boyfriend keeps giving me the ick. I, 27F, have been with my boyfriend, 28M, for 2 years, and he's amazing in so many ways. But lately, small things are starting to give me the ick. He avoids chores, pushes off booking flights until last minute, then asks me to do it, forgets to pay me back for gifts, and leaves dirty dishes everywhere. I sometimes feel more like his mom than his partner, and it worries me. He says it's because of mild autism and struggles with small tasks, but to me it feels childish. I love him, but I don't want a one-sided relationship. TLDR, my great boyfriend is immature with responsibilities, and it's giving me the ick. My mom won't stop playing matchmaker. I'm 25F, and my mom, 60F, has made it her mission to marry me off. She gives my photos and socials to random men, pressures me to text them back, and flips out when I don't. Even though I've told her I'm not ready to date after an abusive relationship, she won't stop. Her vetting is terrible. She only cares if they're age appropriate, have a degree, and that she likes their mom. Meanwhile, I want an equal partner, not someone who expects me to quit my career. But she guilt trips me with "I just want you to be happy" while pushing me to freeze my eggs. I've begged my dad and brother to intervene, but she won't listen. It's exhausting and makes me want to cut contact. Should I just humor her and hope one works out, or find a way to make her stop? My husband wants a divorce over his jealousy. My husband, 34M, has retroactive jealousy/OCD, and it's behind nearly all our fights. We've been married a year, and while he can be loving, his triggers over my past make me walk on eggshells. After our anniversary blew up, I asked for space and moved his stuff to the guest room. He got furious, said he won't live like roommates, and told me he's filing for divorce. I don't want that. I just needed breathing room. Right now I feel numb, not even sad, just drained. I still love him, but I don't know if this marriage can survive. TLDR, husband's jealousy issues are destroying us. I asked for space, and now he wants a divorce. Married to a gamer, but feeling like a roommate. I've been married 3 years to my husband, 30M. He's kind, respectful, and provides for me, but I feel more safe than truly loved. His world revolves around gaming and his phone, even during meals, trips, or in bed. Our intimacy is mechanical, with no real closeness or affection. He doesn't ask about me, my likes, or even what makes me feel loved. When I bring it up, he just tells me to find something to distract myself. I feel like I'm living with a nice roommate instead of a partner. Has anyone managed to rebuild intimacy and connection in a situation like this, or am I asking for too much? I want my boyfriend to move out, but not break up. I, 18M, jumped into living with my boyfriend, 20M, way too fast, and now I realize I'm not ready. I want my own space, time with friends, and just to be independent, but I don't want to end the relationship. He sees this as rejection, saying it means I don't love him. He gets jealous when I hang out with friends, accuses me of cheating, and now he's calling me childish for asking for space. To make things worse, he's even brought my grandmother into it and talks about suicide when I push back. I feel guilty and scared, but I know I need my boundaries. I just don't know how to handle the fallout without losing him completely. TLDR, I need my boyfriend to move out so I can have space, but he's reacting badly and making me feel like the villain. I love my BF, but he's broke. I'm 22F, my boyfriend is 30M. When we first met, he was financially stable and even spoiled me, one of the things I loved about him. But after quitting a few jobs, he hasn't been working for months, and now I'm paying for all our dates. I've encouraged him to apply for jobs, but he doesn't feel urgency since he doesn't have expenses. Meanwhile, I'm dipping into my savings just to keep our relationship fun, and it's starting to feel draining. I'd be fine splitting things, but paying 100% is exhausting. He's kind and supportive, but I want to travel, go on dates, and build a life together, not bankroll him while he coasts. I love him, but I don't know if I can keep doing this. I can't defend my fiancé against my parents. I've been with my fiancé, 27F, for almost 5 years, and I freeze whenever my parents say or do something unfair to her. She feels like I don't care enough to stand up for her, and it's breaking her heart. For example, my dad once uninvited her from a trip, and I just accepted it, or my mom pushed back on her bridal shower plans, and I stayed silent. She defends me with her family, but I can't seem to do the same. I love her and want her to know she comes first, but my fear of conflict with my parents keeps me quiet. How do I stop freezing up and finally stand by her? Horny and frustrated. BF didn't follow through plus toy talk backfired. I, 21F, finally got off my period and was super ready to have sex with my BF, 22M. At the movies he rubbed my thighs all night, so I thought it was happening after. Instead, he just drove me home, leaving me disappointed and guilty for even being upset. Later I texted him about it, and when I mentioned maybe getting a toy since it's hard for me to finish alone, he took it the wrong way. He thought I was saying he wasn't good enough, even though I kept reassuring him that he turns me on and toys aren't the same as him. He still went to bed upset, saying he lost his touch. Now I feel bad for hurting him, but I'm also still frustrated because my needs weren't met. Her mom hates me just for being Samoan. I, 28M, have been with my GF, 22F, for almost 2 years, and everything has been great. But when she told her mom I'm Samoan, her mom cried, panicked, and told her to break up with me. She sees me the same as her abusive ex, even though she's never met me. I grew up around abuse, alcohol, and drugs, but chose a different path. I love good food, gaming, and most of all my GF. It hurts being judged for my ethnicity when all I want is to make her happy and be a good partner. Now we're secretly still together, but she feels guilty lying to her mom. I don't hate her mom, I know she's just protecting her daughter, but I don't know how to prove I'm not like her ex. Has anyone been able to change a parent's mind in this situation? He tells me I'm meant for him, but cancels every date we plan. I've been seeing this guy, 29M, for almost 2 months, and at first it felt magical. We aligned on goals, values, even little quirks, and he said our chemistry was on another level. He makes big plans for the future, talks intimacy, even sends poems, which makes me feel like he's really invested. The problem? He cancels on me constantly. I get that he's busy teaching, but he never cancels on friends or other commitments, only me. I'm just visiting town for a few weeks, and I was so excited to see him, yet he always seems too tired when it comes to me. It hurts not feeling like a priority. I promised myself I'd only date someone as sure about me as I am about them. Right now, his words and actions don't line up, and I'm scared of getting more invested. He ditched me for drinks while I was in the ER. Deal breaker? I, 21F, had a sudden medical emergency and ended up in the hospital overnight. I texted my boyfriend, 21M, where I was, but he didn't come until 9 hours later because he was at a bar with friends and didn't want to ruin the vibe. His excuse was that I seemed fine, so he thought it could wait. Since then, I can't stop replaying it in my head. I was terrified and alone, hooked up to monitors, while the person I live with chose beer over me. He says I'm being cold and dramatic over one mistake, but to me this feels like a huge red flag about how he handles real emergencies. Friends are telling me to give him a break because he's young, but I feel like it's not about age, it's about priorities. Am I overreacting for seeing this as a deal breaker? GF won't live together before marriage. I, 38M, have been dating my GF, 31F, for 1.5 years. We get along well, but she hasn't introduced me to many friends or family, and she's very private. Most of our time together is at my place, but our lives still feel pretty separate. Her lease is ending, and I offered for her to move in. She refuses, saying she won't live together before marriage, doesn't want to do trial wife duties, and worries about tenant rights. I've been divorced, and I feel strongly about living together first to know we're truly compatible. I do love her, but this feels like a fundamental difference. Am I wrong for seeing her stance as a deal breaker, or should I bend if I want to marry her? GF wants to quit job and have me pay everything. Am I being unfair? I, 28M, live with my girlfriend, 27F, of 5 years. She's battled depression for a while, and although she finally got the job she wanted, now she's talking about quitting because it stresses her out. The problem is she expects me to take over all the rent and bills if she does. I told her that isn't realistic and reminded her that mistakes at work are normal. I also pointed out that leaving her job with nothing else to do might make her mental health even worse, not better. She didn't like that and said I was being unfair. I care about her, but I can't just pay for everything alone. Am I being too harsh, or is it reasonable to expect her to keep working and contribute financially? Drowning in complaints, my girlfriend won't stop. I, 25M, have been with my girlfriend, 21F, for a year and a half, but her constant negativity is draining me. She complains 4 to 10 times a day about the tiniest things, whether it's forgetting bread, her mom not going to the store, or even just the rain. I've told her how exhausting it feels, but she insists she's just expressing her emotions and that I'm the problem for not accepting it. I'm naturally a positive person, and her endless negativity is starting to clash with how I see life. TLDR, my girlfriend constantly complains about small things. I feel worn out, and our fights are piling up. Am I wrong for being frustrated? BF slept through my night of hell. Should I call him out? I, 25F, had a terrible reaction to a new birth control pill. I was throwing up all night, literally every 10 minutes. My boyfriend, 25M, was staying over, and I assumed he'd slept through it. But in the morning, I found out he had woken up a few times and just didn't check on me. The next day, he was super kind and empathetic, which makes this feel out of character for him. Usually he's thoughtful, supportive, and cooks for me often. That's why this one incident threw me off and left me feeling a bit hurt. I don't want to blow up something small, but part of me feels like it matters. Should I bring it up gently or let it slide since overall he's been a great partner? BF acts like he knows everything. I, 26F, love my boyfriend, 30M, but he constantly responds to things I share with duh, obviously, or everyone knows that. It makes me feel like he's not interested in what I say, and I've started avoiding conversations with him. When I told him how this hurts me, his response was that he knows almost everything and that I should ask him more questions so he can educate me. Instead of helping, it just frustrated me more. He is smart, but there's no way he knows everything about every topic. I don't know if this is just a personality quirk I need to accept, or if it's a sign of incompatibility.